All right, moving right along. Thank you guys for tuning in for week number 7 of the Sharp Goat Photo Challenge. We're going to get to look at Krista Kruger's shots in just a second. If you haven't already, share the challenge with someone that you know. If you know someone who's got a DSLR who's looking to get into manual and wants a weekly challenge, something to get them fired up, get them outside, get shooting, work out those photography muscles. How do you get better? How do you get stronger? You go to the gym and you work your muscles out regularly, often. So this is what we're trying to do with the photo challenge: work the photography muscles more often, so we're more active with it, and we get stronger. We're stronger photographers, strong kung fu. So go and share the challenge with someone that you know who's looking for a challenge. Head on over to the sharpgoat.com/blog page. That's where all the details for the Sharp Goat Challenge are going to be. You can share them with anybody. They can jump in whenever they want into the challenge. Doesn't matter. They can even just watch the video critiques and just follow along with everybody else's shots. That's perfectly fine too. So go ahead, share it with a friend today. Back to Krista's shots. Krista, thank you very much for submitting for this week. Really do appreciate it. Love it when you do submit your picks. Let's take a look at what you got. And you included a lot of notes, a book of notes on a lot of your shots. Awesome. I love notes. A quick afternoon adventure on an icy trail to take pictures for the Sharp Goat Photo Challenge. To be honest, we spent most of the walk dodging dog shit. It was everywhere. Is it wrong that I hope karma comes back at the lazy dog owners and that they step in the piles of dog shit they left behind? I'm so ready for some greenery in life. Manual settings and slight contrast and saturation adjustments to make brown and dead look like it has color. LOL. I really don't think you sound like that. I'm just trying to do a dramatic reading. Thank you very much. Karma. That's the title of this pick. Beautiful. Let's see. The 7D 50mm 1.4. Everybody's got a 1.4. Awesome. 2.8. 1 over 5,000. Cut down that light. ISO 400. Beautiful. This. All right. And ever so slight adjustments on contrast and saturation. Thank you for including that. That's good to know. This here. Yeah. Beautiful. Look at the sharpness that you can get with the 50mm. This is beautiful. And there's plenty of detail in the not quite springified environment here. Snow's going away. Sea of snow. Bring on the life. Bring on the spring. This is great. Not much going on in the shot except for just seeing that the snow is melting and the spring's on the way. The path seems to be more of the subject to anything. It grabs my eye right away. It looks like it's the right exposure. It's great. Except there's just not. It's missing something with it, missing a life to it, missing a subject, a focus. If there was someone or something on the path, even imagining, not that you could have controlled nature like this, but if there was a little critter or something on the path, or even just a person or a child or a deer or something like that, it looks like it needs something added to it. I'm not quite sure what. I don't know. Looking for some other comments on this as well. So if you're watching this critique, try to get. I want to see someone else's comments on what else could have been done with this. Oh, lovely, lovely shot. An act of desperation. Connor wouldn't take his picture for the SGPhoto challenge, and everything was snowy and brown and dull. So I turned the camera on myself. First time in over a year. Holy crap, I am awkward. At least the light was really pretty. Manual settings and using a remote. Only slight contrast and saturation adjustments in Lightroom. Oh, and sorry, Nick. I had to crop it. I love the power of the crop. Cropping. 30 seconds to talk about cropping. I'm not totally against it. Cropping is not the worst thing in the world. It's not a crime. It's not a sin. Not really. The only reason I'm frowning on it for the use of this for this particular challenge, for the SGPhoto challenge, is that we're here to exercise our photography muscles, and if we're relying on cropping, if that's a safety net feature. If we know that we're going to be cropping later, then it doesn't stress on us to try and get the perfect composition when we try to get the shot the first time around. So in my mind, when I'm shooting, I know in my mind I'm not going to be cropping. Whatever its composition is, that's what it's locked in, that's what it's going to be. So I'm stressing to get the composition right. I'm taking the extra second to think about it, so that I don't have that safety net, so that I don't get lax in my ways. But that's totally fine. I'm not saying that people don't have to crop at all. I may just kind of I'll express my own opinions about it, but I don't want to say don't crop. It's, crop is the worst thing you could possibly do, because it's not. I do crop from time to time when I absolutely need to for client shots. Not a big deal. So f2.8, 1/1000, 50 mil. Self-portraits, or the selfies and self-portraits, two very different things. We're going to get into those differences later for a different challenge, but self-portraits, very difficult to pull off. Oh my God, are they difficult. I just recently, when I got the new specs, I posted one on my my personal page, and people have loved it, but oh my God, was it tough to do. It's so hard to shoot yourself. That's a challenge in itself. Hint, hint. Watch for that in the future. But this looks beautiful. Look at the light just bouncing. You got heavenly light looking on your hair here. You got perfect focus on your eye here, it looks. And with the 50 mil, this is great. Manual settings and using a remote. Yeah, that's tough. It is very tough. If you guys haven't tried that, try it, because it is a challenge. Actually, don't try it yet. Wait for the challenge. Wait for the appropriate challenge. Yeah, and this one, this one looks really good. I really love the sharpness of the 50 mil, how it just brings up it just finds every individual hair and also the individual eyelashes in your eyes. It's great. And what a day to do it outside, and in the bright sun. That's great. And of course, it's good that you're facing this way that you were, so that the light is hitting that side of your hair, and it's not, if you would have been turned the other way, it would have been too much on your face. So that is pretty good. Actually, you might even be able to turn even a little bit more, just a little bit to your clockwise, just a little bit. If the sun is either rising or setting, it's generally believed that you want to try, and when you're shooting a portrait, either yours or someone else's, try and get the light more on their back, not directly behind them, but kind of hitting either the back right or the back left of their head, to add use the sun as hair light, but also it won't be right on their face, overexposing and blinding them. It won't be right behind them, acting like a lens flare that's going to really blow out the image. It's just a nice little hair light. So that's very nice there. And at 2.8, you're safe for getting your shot. It is still tough to get focus right on your eyes, but it looks like you got it. Why the scowl? I have no idea. It's hard to smile when you have the camera on yourself. Or maybe it was Connor I was scowling at, because I was hoping he would be my subject. Connor, get on camera. Stop making Krista so awkward. She's shot herself. She's done her time. It's time for you to get in front. I was hoping he would be my subject. Thank goodness for tripods and remotes. Manual settings, slight crop and contrast, and saturation adjustments. Thank you so very much for the detailed notes. I really appreciate that, Krista. Okay, but why the scowl? And it looks like we did miss focus on you this one time. So I guess this was with the timer in the remote. Again, it's really tough to pick the spot that you're going to be standing in, focus on it, hit the remote, hit the timer, get in the spot, and hit that mark. It is very tough. Looks like we did kind of miss. We got an awkward expression out of you, but we also missed focus on your face. The previous portrait looked fantastic. Otherwise, yeah, settings look pretty decent. It's a little bit low. You could probably bring it up more up on you. This looks pretty well exposed for your background, but bring it more up because you are the subject here. So expose for you. So even in Lightroom, bump it up a bit more. Get the exposure right on your face. You can afford to lose it in the background a bit more. Or even if you want to go fancy and actually get the paintbrush tool out in Lightroom and just do an adjustment, make a power mask for you and make an adjustment just on your area and boost that up a little bit. Overshadowed. I think this is my favorite with the 50mm lens. The background is smooth and the light makes me... The only problem is the shadows from the trees. They fall in a funny spot. Wish I could have eliminated them. Manual settings, cropped, sorry Nick, and slight contrast and saturation adjustments. Try not to crop. Try not to crop. It's not enough to be a challenge to just not crop, but try not to. So the only problem is the shadows from the trees. Yeah, shooting in the trees, it's very tough because you have no control over that, and the sun, as it's setting, it becomes a really powerful spotlight, and the shadows just fall where they are. There is something freaky deaky funky going on with the background here. It's really coming in smooth. Wonder what kind of effect that was that was happening there. But it looks really cool. And I like where you're positioned. I actually like that there's this column of light that just kind of just drops right there. It is a bit much on you, and so it does look like part of the downside of getting the sun right on the face is not only will it really overexpose the subject's face, but also makes them squint, so you get a weird expression out of them. So yeah, you do get that here, but it looks pretty well. You look pretty serious, Krista. You look like you're ready to kill someone. But that's a very nice one. The background's very nice. It looks to me like you got focus at least close, if not spot on, maybe a little bit off on the eyes, but enough that here it looks really good. And your hair looks nice here too. So yeah, I dig this very much. So awesome. Thank you for getting yourself in front of the camera. That's pretty brave as well. It's challenging just to do a bunch of self-portraits. And thank you for submitting for the Nifty 50 challenge, Krista. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week.